Hello, it's Nikki, and today I wanted not to announce, but just tell you basically that I've started a Substack. And of course, I would love you to check it out if that is something that might float your boat. But more importantly, I thought it would be more useful to share a behind the scenes, why I've done this, why now, and my thinking behind it. Because sometimes we can feel like there's all these things that we should do, or everybody else is doing it, so maybe I should. And my whole mission with myself and helping clients also is to work smarter and not harder. So there are many things that really work for other people's businesses, but they will never work, or limiting belief, but they don't feel like they would work because they don't necessarily suit my personality or my lifestyle or my circumstances. So for example, there are some creators out there, some personal brands who do an Instagram live every single morning at 7 o'clock. And that works brilliantly for them because they might like that routine in their business, knowing that they've shown up. And also their clients, their audience might love it as well because there's that familiarity, you know, like a soap opera, like, oh, they're here again. That predictability. 7 a.m. in my household only needs to be experienced by those who live here. That's all I'm going to say. 7 a.m. is usually mixed. You never know what you're going to get at 7 a.m. So for me to commit to my business at 7 a.m. in a live capacity just does not work. And so I guess that's the first takeaway that I want to share with you is as you move forward, as you grow your business, we have to be mindful about what's actually going to work. Because if it works and if it makes sense and if you can find a flow with it, that's when things are going to grow. If already you're like, I might be able to show up twice at 7 a.m., but I don't know if that's going to work in the slightest. There is this also difference between making some moves that feel slightly out of your comfort zone and also then fighting against yourself. So I might say that category of me showing up at 7 a.m. every morning, it's just not going to work because of all the reasons that I just gave you. But if I was to say I need to be more visible and I was saying, well, I'm not going to do that because how can I be visible? I need to work out why that's not happening, for example. So you have to listen and make a judgment of whether it's you want to stay in your comfort zone or whether it's just not going to work. So I trust you to do all of that work. But back to the Substack and why I started. So I am an avid reader of Substack. I miss that old kind of blog scenario. That's really what was happening in the space when I started in 2011, 2012. And I've really been enjoying a mix, and I love that it comes to my email, that I can read it. I often will save them in a folder and then I'll do a kind of a bulk read whenever I want. And so for me, when I was thinking about this part of the year and my marketing and creating process, the two for me go hand in hand. Let me just do this blind. Hang on. Whoa. How's that lighting going to be? It's better. At least you can see my face now. If you want to. So I am always thinking in terms of my marketing material, of how can I be in a place where I'm marketing and creating. So there are some people who are just like, we show up and do this every single day. But because it's my business, because it's my stuff, and I'm not doing this on behalf of somebody else's, I always have to have that sense of creation and coming up with ideas and doing things in a way that works really well for me. And so instead of just doing, 10 blog posts where I'm like, buy now, that doesn't necessarily feel good. I like that process of sharing information, of doing live teaching, of doing mini workshops, and taking people behind the scenes and sharing my tools essentially with whoever might want them. So for me, I wanted to get back, especially at this sort of time of year in September, of creating that rhythm for myself where I was regularly marketing and creating. And I think that they are two very distinctive muscles that are important to the growth of your business. So sometimes what can happen, especially, if you're in a similar situation to me, over the summer, I was mainly the one at home, entertaining the kids, juggling and doing that sort of thing. But I really did kind of put some brakes on the creation aspect of my business. And I just kind of, for the first time actually, worked with what I could do and really thought about it in that way of how can I be present in this moment, but how can I still create income? So it was very strategic in that way. But now that I'm back and now the kids are back in school, I am looking at ways that I can create that pattern, that sense of not necessarily automation, because it's very much me who is creating it, that sense of a rhythm of being visible and showing up and having that sense of these are the tasks that I need to complete each and every day in order for the wheels to turn. And I think so often it can be easy, especially if there's other stuff going on in your life, where the visibility, the marketing aspect sort of falls off. Because especially when I've spoken to clients, their sense of if other stuff is going on behind the scenes or if things they feel hard, the last thing that they want to do is go, hi guys, I'm really excited about my business product. They don't necessarily want to do that. Number two, for me, love finding a solution to my problem. And I am impatient. I'm really impatient. Not with other people necessarily, but with myself. I hate that feeling within myself. And I've learned to catch it much quicker. If I'm struggling with something, if I'm going round and round and round in some kind of situation, that does me no favors. Staying small, staying like a victim, staying in that place of I just don't know. It's so demotivating for me. It's almost like that moment of, I like to get up and have a shower and do all of those things, because if I stay in that, I don't know if I'll get dressed today, it just doesn't work for me. Or it certainly doesn't work for my family, because my kids are like, well, where are we going? What are you doing? Should we make a plan? So in the way that I've structured this Substack, I've got it to a stage where you can get what you need based on the problem that you want to solve, or the part or the category that you want inspiration for. So when you go onto my Substack, you will find on a Monday, I talk about goal setting. On a Tuesday, I talk about money. On a Wednesday, I talk about visibility and speaking and content and your digital disco. Thursday is all about your future self and habits and becoming that version of yourself that you want to be. And on a Friday, I talk about my recent favorites. And these can be business and life and all sorts of things that have really resonated with me and that I've loved. Just a side note on that, I'm not paid to share any of those things. They're all my own personal recommendations. So, for example, if a client sees something, say about me talking about pricing and packaging your services, they can then easily go ahead and get more of what they need. And I love that. And for me, that helps me structure my week and structure some sort of schedule in terms of content. So if I have an idea, it's not like, oh, great, I'll put that out there. It's like, oh, that idea will be brilliant. And that can go in, say, next Wednesdays when I know I want to talk about speaking. So getting my content into categories is really great for me as a creator, but I hope it's great for you as a consumer. So over to you with that one. What do you need to do? What are your categories of content that you're creating? What's your What's your vibe? What's this all about? Is there some sort of practicality or predictability to giving your clients, your customers, what they need? Number 3, I wanted to create a blend of writing and video. Now, I know that Substack is sort of like a blog platform, but they do have other pieces of media and content that you can add in there. I am simultaneously growing my YouTube channel, and I also love to write about things as well. So I want to use this content to put in my mailing list and to really make this content work hard for itself. And so creating this blend of almost like having one full article where I have writing and I have the video version, I can then slice and dice that across other platforms or other ways in which I use that. And that works really brilliantly for me. So over to you in terms of this. What do you need to do? Where are you holding back in terms of your content? Where are you almost like fighting against or swimming against the tide, where you actually need to lean in to writing more? Or maybe you are great at creating carousels and pictures and storyboarding in that way. I think now is the time, especially when all of these platforms, all of these companies and brands are saying, no, come over here, come and do this. If you are a one-person show, you have to be very purposeful with your time, because otherwise what might happen is you just are busy the whole time and you're feeling like you have to be uploading and doing all of these things. The key to content right now is building some kind of structure for yourself so it becomes inevitable. It becomes part of the process. Not when you feel like it, not when you've got time, not when things quieten down in your business, but to have this running whenever you need it. Almost like any other sort of system in your house. Some days, you know, I do washing most days because we have so much in our house. But having that set, I guess when I go back to the washing basket, I'm not looking at it and going, well, do I feel like it today? Like, is this me? Am I in a good spot to be able to do this? It's very much like, no, it just needs to happen. It goes in the washing machine, it comes out, it goes on the line outside. Occasionally I air it on this rack thing, or it goes in the tumble dryer. It's ironed, it's folded, it's put away. That's the kind of rhythm. It's not an emotional process. And I want you to get to that stage with your content as well, that it becomes automatic, not that it becomes cold or clinical or any of those things. Because actually what sometimes needs to happen is you just need to get something out there. And I know that for many of us who are creative, we don't want to feel like, oh gosh, but I'm not really feeling it today. So, you know, can I share this? Am I being fake? Am I not showing up as my full self? I tell you what, begin to crack on and connect and reconnect with your old content. I've been creating content on the internet since 2011. There is plenty for me to choose from. So if I don't feel like showing up, having a blow dry, a full face of makeup, setting up my camera and all the rest of it, no problem. I've got something from my own archives that I can quickly access and put together. So that's my final Brucey bonus, I guess, for you. Do you have some kind of archive? Do you have a system? Do you have a Google Drive, for example, where you can put things in there and you can pull them out? Because this sense of, I guess it's like fashion, you know, you don't need to be creating a huge wacky look every single day. Sometimes it's like you can wear that t-shirt and wear that jeans with that jacket because you know that it works for you. So I hope that's been useful today. If you're not subscribed to the Substack, please do so. If you're not subscribed to YouTube, that's where I'm going to be sharing all of my current videos. And I hope you'll join me and I hope you get lots from it. Lots of love. Tell your friends. Bye.